Jesus finally he goes down this town, and everyone's just gathering around him because everyone wants to see Jesus. Jesus is awesome. So while he's doing that, he hears, unclean, unclean, unclean. And everybody gets out of the way, because once you hear unclean, you don't want to be touched at all. Because once an unclean person touches you, that's it. You're out. You're out of society. You're no longer welcome. Has anyone ever felt like that before? Like where you're just weird and no one wants to talk to you or be around you because you smell like garlic, or you know, you just look weird, or you do something funny or that's not funny to anybody else. So once he hears that, well, I can relate to that story. How many of you guys had poison oak before? 1, 2, 3, 4. How many is really allergic to it? All right, so one, never. Okay, not getting ready. No poison oak. So anyways, poison oak, I can relate to that because when I get poison oak, it is disgusting. My all swelled up, ears are pussing. I just have like all these bumps and rashes everywhere, and then what I have to do is literally like isolate myself and live on newspapers in my room for at least about 3 weeks. It's terrible. Today I had like a little bump, and I was like, oh, you know, it's not that bad. Maybe poison oak is over me. 2 hours later, bust out in hives, from toe to the top of my hair, I had poison oak. So bad, no one can recognize me. I was just walking down the street and everyone just, ugh, you're disgusting. I got called Patrick the Star. It wasn't good. So anyways, this man, he comes to this town and he's yelling, unclean, unclean, unclean. Everyone backs away from him. And Jesus and his disciples look at him, and the disciples gasp because they don't want to be near him at all, because they know exactly what happens when you touch that man. That your arms, your hands, your ears, your legs, your nose, your lips, your cheeks, they will fall off because of that. So everyone's backing away. And this man, he falls down to his knees in front of Jesus, and he says, you can heal me if you will. And Jesus can see the pain and agony in his eyes, knowing that he probably can't see his family anymore. He can't hold his little boy anymore and tells him that he loves him. He can't talk to anybody because he's an outcast. Nobody wants anything to do with him. So while everyone's gasping, running away from him, Jesus is moved by him. And he looks down at him and says, you are clean. And touches him, touches his face. And then he picks him up, and Jesus heals the man. He's clean. Everybody saw what happened. Everybody's gasping at amazement and awe. And how can this happen? This is unheard of. Once you get it, there's no coming back. And Jesus touched him. And everyone thought that Jesus was unclean because if you touch him, that's it. Jesus totally flipped the script on people, saying, I don't care how dirty you are, how unclean you think you are, how broken you are. I love you. You are my child. I love you. God loves you. No matter how broken you are, no matter what.